Racing to the 2020 Breeders' Cup, and today I thought I'd take a look and check in on the Sprint division. The Breeders' Cup Sprint is always one of my favorite racers on the card. You get to determine who the fastest horse in training is usually, and usually the Sprint does not disappoint. Somebody fires a big race, and this year we've got 8 or 9 contenders that could fire a big race, starting off with the leader of the division, Vekoma. Now, he is coming off a slight injury. He has not run since the Met Mile, but Vekoma, 3 for 3 on the year for the big strapping son of Candy Ride. And remember, if you he'll bring the paddle if you bring the canoe. And it'll be interesting to see if he does run in the Vogsburg up next. That's going to be a 6-furlong race, so we could get the matchup against Volatile. He's also nominated for the Preakness big stakes races coming up, the Francis Memorial Dash. So it'll be interesting to see where Vekoma shows up next. He's had 2 workouts since that injury. Both just short workouts. It'll be interesting to see how hard they pressure him. Now, supposedly he's been galloping for about 3 to 4 weeks now, but Vekoma definitely the leader in the division. Volatile, 3 for 3 this year for the 4-year-old. He's another 4-year-old, just like Vekoma. Steve Asmussen trains, and you'll see that as a trend in this report. Steve Asmussen training 4 or 5 possible contenders for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Volatile dominated the field at Oaklawn Park, then came back and won at Churchill, and then picked up a Grade 1 victory the last time out. But that was against weaker competition. It was not the toughest of Grade 1s, but he did get that designation. And Volatile been training steadily for his appearance next at Belmont Park. They want to keep him at that 6-furlong distance. Of course, the son of violence, and been putting together a good streak now. 3 straight wins to start off 2020. Whitmore, the 7-year-old, don't want to miss him. 14 for 36 lifetime. Of course, a long time ago, he was on the Kentucky Derby Trail. Of course, then they turned him into a sprinter. Disappointing effort in the Forego Stakes at 7 furlongs in the slop the last time out, but he usually rebounds. We'll probably see him most likely next at Keeneland as he preps for the Breeders' Cup Sprint, which will also be at Keeneland. The Ogden Phipps, next, most likely next for Whitmore. And then we've got Lexitonian. Calumet Farm sends out this guy. Of course, a close second to Collusion Illusion out west in the Bing Crosby Stakes. Lexitonian then went to the Forego, so he's had a kind of a hard campaign, but he still seems to be running well. He's the type of horse that could pick up the pieces on Breeders' Cup Day if you do get a fast pace and they start to melt that pace down. So Lexitonian, definitely one to keep an eye on if you're playing some of the futures bets. Meanwhile, Yupon, a 3-year-old, Steve Asmussen trained, now 3 for 3. He has put together 3 nice wins to start off his career. Won the first time out by just a nose. Then the last time out picked up the stakes victory. Still got to face graded stakes victory at that Grade 1 level, but a nice win the last time out in the Grade 2 Amsterdam. Steve Asmussen trains, and Yupon next most likely going to a Grade 1 race. Will be interesting to see. You know, he picked up a 106 Equibase speed figure in that Amsterdam, where you've got horses like Volatile, who's ran a 119 and a 118, and then it was Vekoma with a 118 in the Met Mile, and he had a 116 in the Carter Stakes in his 2 Grade 1 stakes victories. Landeskog is another one. You might not remember him, but last year he was aggressively placed into the Woody Stevens. Only 1 race this year. It was at Ellis Park, the P-Patch. But Landeskog, now trained by Brad Cox, he, I have a feeling, is going to be running in some Grade 1, Grade 2 type sprint races up next. Could see him at Pimlico in the undercard for Brad Cox. Another one to watch on the rebound is Engage, who won at Keeneland last year. He has been working steadily now for over 2 months, so he's getting ready to get back into the racing groove. Steve Asmussen trains Engage, and he could be going back to the Breeders' Cup here. And then you've got the 3-year-olds like No Parole and Echo Town. Again, a big, deep division this year for the sprint division. Going to be interesting to see where they spread out and how they prep for the final prep round as we get ready here for the 2020 Breeders' Cup, which is going to be held without fans at Keeneland. Of course, the Breeders' Cup coming back to Keeneland in 2022. So a deep sprint division led by Volatile, Vekoma, Collusion Illusion, Lexitonian, Landeskog. Who is your top selection right now for the Breeders' Cup Sprint? Leave a comment below. Remember, hit subscribe and ring that bell for notifications as we lead you up to the 2020 Breeders' Cup.